about numbers. And in thinking about this, I would really support us creating our own numbers, creating our own definition of what murdered and missing Indigenous women means. What I would include is it's over 6,000 children who never came home from the residential school. I would include those as well, those individuals who were lost to our families. I would also include those babies that never got to be born. Just thinking of Tashina's situation, I would include that number as two, because again, the way our people see, that was also a life. That was also a life that was taken and was not able to take that first breath. So I would include those numbers as well. So I would challenge the fact that there is way more than 1,200 murdered and missing Indigenous women and girls across Canada. There's a lot more than that, and we know that. I can't help but also think about the reaction across the world about the 276 girls in Nigeria. They called them they said they were stolen girls. And we seen the reaction. And as yes, that was very sad. And as I was listening and watching the world and their reaction to that, I couldn't help but think, what about our women? What about our women who have been lost? And what about those stolen dreams and those stolen lives? We have so many. And I know that Canada again was giving resources to that country to bring those girls home. And yes, they deserve to come home and they should come home, but so should our girls come home. So should our women come home. And so should our children have their mothers and their sisters and their granddaughters. So I was very passionate about that. Here at Six Nations, again, I want to acknowledge the families that are here today. It's been an absolute honor working with these three families. And if there are more families here that would like to partake in this initiative that we've started, we've actually, Chief Hill has been calling them Embrace Her with Love families, and that's what I've started calling them as well. Because that's what we need to do, is embrace our families with love, embrace those individuals who have had that type of loss. I am very aware we've had tragedy in our community. We've had a lot of tragedy in our community. And you don't even have to hear about it. You can feel it in the community. We can all feel it. And when that happens, the reason why we can feel it is because we're all interrelated. We're all interconnected. We know that as Ongwehome people, as the original people. We know how connected we are. And it takes us right back to when we were in a longhouse, when we lived in longhouses and we had to count on each other to survive. We knew how to get along back then. And we knew how to keep things in line. There was no violence back then, not against each other. Men weren't beating their wives. Wives weren't beating their men. That wasn't happening because, the women, the families were living in the women's house, and that clan mother helped to keep things in line. So that didn't happen. So we are interconnected. And so I cannot tell you the pride I have in working with these three families. And no, I don't know their loss the way they know their loss, but I have such love and compassion for each of them and each of our community members who goes through that loss. So I would just encourage us all to, the power of the good mind that Mike talked about. I would encourage us all to wrap all those families in love, and all those families out there that are facing hurt, that are hurt today, those ones that have suffered loss, and to put our intention of love around those families, because that's what's going to heal, and that's how we can become better Ongwehome people. We did a campaign last weekend at Ganohkwasra that said, "Be the change." And again, I want to acknowledge each one of you for being here tonight, because you being here, you're showing change. You're showing love and compassion to these families. Nyawagoa.